So it is the eve of our brand new update for Diablo Immortal, and now we are going to go over our patch notes for everything that we can expect coming to the game. As we all know, the update is coming on Friday the 13th, not to be confused with any other Friday the 13th, but what else is going on Friday the 13th? Our subathon over on Twitch, which I think is going to be a ton of fun. We're going to be starting it at 9 a.m. Eastern time and running it until, well, the timer runs out. Timer is in your control. I could be up for as long as 24 hours playing the new major update. Hopefully it's good because I will be playing a ton of it. I'm giving you guys 3 hours of free time. Everything past that will be additional for however many subs or gifted subs the channel receives. So now let's look at the patch notes as to what content we'll be covering. So Diablo has been restored. All right, we're not going to read all the lore. We're just going to get to the good stuff. So the Fated Duel, Shattered Sanctuary main quest. So we're getting the new main quest line we talk about. We do know that it is a very long quest line. I think I'm safe. I think our embargo date has passed, but I won't go into details in case it hasn't, but I know that it is a very, very long quest line, and it has a pretty epic ending with us fighting Diablo himself, which is pretty sick. Again, this is, I want to remind everyone, this is a prequel game to Diablo. This is everything that happens before Diablo, what, 2 or 3? Before Diablo 3. So like we know things that happen in Diablo 3 that haven't yet happened because we're in Diablo Immortal. So I'm very curious what the actual ending will be. So we're going to be doing that all live, like I said, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern time on Friday. And of course, all of it is going, we have the Sword Eldruin. So that'll be used at our disposal of hopefully Diablo. Hell on Sanctuary World's Crown. This is apparently the largest to date new zone coming to Diablo Immortal, which is pretty exciting. Hopefully it has some decent farming routes, maybe some additional bounties. I don't think it does include new bounties. Seven sub zones and a safe zone and unique wanted monsters. I think these are just like the purple ones that you get that pop up around the map, but I do like that we have new bounties. That's a bonus. Relive your climactic clash against the Lord of Terror with friends. So after you beat it, basically it's saying that gather up to 4 friends and then you can defeat Diablo, who wields all the forces of the burning hells alongside the reality warping power of the world's stone shard. Should you survive, Eldruin inspired cosmetic set items and more will be your reward, so you can replay it with up to 4 people total. Crank up the complexity in challenge dungeons. Okay, so dungeons just became more rewarding and dangerous, so now we are going to be experiencing even a harder way of completing dungeons. So monsters have 500% more life and deal 200% more damage in challenge dungeons, so approach with caution. And then these are the different challenge dungeons that you can experience. So it looks like one is big problems. Enemies are larger throughout the dungeon. The player's size is decreased. Bosses will continue to grow over time until they enrage. Laser, enemies fire beams of energy at targets. Okay, a bad blood, not to be confused with the Taylor Swift song. Enemies may leave behind a pool of blood after death that will slow and damage players. Bolstered, some non-boss monsters have an aura that increases movement and attack speed of nearby monsters and gives them a shield. Okay, not too bad. A rain of fire, fireballs occasionally fall from the sky, leaving burning areas that will damage the player. Sacrificing power, skills will greatly reduce cooldowns, but cost health. I think we already have this one in Elder Rifts. And I actually like that one a lot. So lava eruption, lava periodically erupts beneath the player. Speed run, completing the dungeon within the limited time will grant bonus rewards. Swarming, the dungeon has more monsters throughout. S-class, the dungeon has more elite monsters. Gauntlet, the dungeon has no normal monsters and bosses are stronger. Heightened senses, monsters sense players more easily and have a greater increased movement speed. Conjurer, which is some monsters and bosses summon doppelgangers. Very interesting. Bountiful, combat globes drop more frequently. Greed spoils skip directly to the final boss, the dungeon boss, and the boss's difficulty is increased. So we have this basically already. All right, so meet your next nightmare, the new Helliquary bosses. So of course, there's 3 more Helliquary bosses. It looks like 1, 2, and 3. So pretty fantastic things there. I'm not going to go into the lore about them, but obviously they're for Inferno 4, 5, and 6. Moving on, so Topple Hell's creation in a new Helliquary gauntlet. So the Dead Birth Helliquary bosses have been added to the Helliquary gauntlet legendary lineup, of which the next season begins on December 13th, which is of course Friday. You can earn legendary items, set items, and the new Molten Rupture Soul Armor weapon and Portal cosmetics if you have to endure the topple those foes. Very cool. Terror Ascendant limited LTE or limited time event. So Sanctuary. So between December 13th and December 27th, these can be exchange rewards for, such as to lure pearls, a legendary crest, and legendary items and more. So it looks like as you do things, you get more. Days of Dawn, Dawn Spawn limited time event. Okay, so this one's new. I like this cosmetic a lot too. It's pretty cool. A new dawn lies at the end of the Hellfire Line Tunnel. Venture out to seize it from January 1st. Okay, this is for the new year. January 1 to January 15th server time. You can complete daily and weekly Days of Dawn span tasks to earn rewards such as runes. Wow, interesting. We don't usually get runes. Moonlight Flora and Aspirin keys and milestone progress points. Daily tasks will have you running Ibn Fob Sanctuary, completing Castle Ereban and Abyssal Verge, whereas weekly tasks will require you to run Rite of Cleansing and more. Understood. This is the new legendary gems. Harness the power of new legendary gems. So there's the 5-star, the 2-star, and the 1-star. All of which, what up, Unravelish? How you doing, bud? We're just going over the patch notes ever so quickly. If you haven't already gone through it, strap in, strap on. All right, so this is the new 5-star legendary gem. So dealing damage grants you ascendance for 6 seconds, increasing your evasion rating by 12% and causing you to unleash 3 blasts of wind at random nearby enemies. All right, so these are of course what they are, rank 10. They're okay. You know, there's gonna be a drop table as well between December 13th and January 8th if you're going for them. I don't plan on going for these, so if you guys want to know more about these legendary gems, here it is. Feel free to review for your own liking. And again, you can modify your drop table, but it is gonna be a little different, it says. So players will have the option to enable a modified drop table for the legendary crest when running Elder Rift. So once enabled, whenever you receive a 5-star legendary gem, there's a 50% chance it'll be that. But in addition, drop table modifiers will be available from December 13th to January 8th, where you can construct your own drop pool. You have the ability to handpick 15 5-stars, 15 2-stars, 15 1-stars that will make up your drop pool, allowing you to more easily acquire the gems you're most interested in. But I mean, it's still going to be, it's basically giving you a 50% chance of getting the 5-star that you want, because it's giving you 15 and you only want 8, so maybe a little bit over 50%. But okay. The new battle pass. This actually looks sick for a battle pass. Well, hold on, asterisk. So pause. The new battle pass looks good in the picture. It always looks different from the picture to what we see in game. Let's see if we get a preview. Of course we do. Okay, it actually doesn't look bad. It's a battle pass skin, not as good as some of the other ones, but still decent nonetheless. And in case you're curious, this does start on December 19th at 3 a.m. Okay. Reactivate your treasure with the Collector's Empowered Battle Pass. Cosmetics lost to time have reemerged in a new aspect of the Collector's Empowered Battle Pass. Upon activating your Collector's Empowered Battle Pass, you'll be able to choose 2 treasures you've already owned to reactivate, meaning that they can once again be displayed proudly. Each consecutive activation of a, what up, Orin? How you doing, bud? Of a Collector's Empowered Battle Pass will score you the ability to reactivate an additional up to 5 at a time. I don't know if I fully understand that one, but I also don't know if I fully care, because I don't really wear the battle pass skins. But if you are somebody who cares about the battle pass skins, and apparently, but reactivate, like you already own them, so why would you need to reactivate something unless it's gonna be for a different class? How do you guys interpret this? Because I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, so Born Ablaze Phantom Market. This one looks pretty cool. This one starts from December 17th. Now, again, I consider myself lucky to be part of the Diablo Immortal, to be a Diablo partner and be a part of the Diablo Immortal partner program. So I usually get these for free, and I like to show them off with you guys and kind of enjoy them with you. So it'll be interesting to see what the uniqueness is of these. But again, this starts on December 17th. It looks like we're almost at the point where there's always going to be a Phantom Market active, but I don't know. Considering items from the, I thought I was muted on God this whole time. I was like, that would have been wild. All right, so this is the drop rates. It doesn't call out anything specific that's different. You know what I mean? Like usually there's this very specific part of the Phantom Market that is different than all the rest, and doesn't necessarily call it out yet. So we'll have to see. The Eternal War rages on. All right, so by decree of the Lich King, the Eternal War will now run until December 31st. So, okay, they did extend that. Returning events, Conqueror, Hunger's Moon, Brumaltine is coming back. Okay, so from December 17th to January 7th, this is where it's sort of get that snowy overlay to Sanctuary, and you get to basically give gifts to each other and that kind of thing. So this is nice. That's nice. Returning. A Wild Brawl will come back. Shady Stock, Alley of Blood. I love Alley of Blood. Holiday Fracture Plane. Okay, the Fracture Plane makes a return for the holidays, but with a festive twist. New modifiers will be present to shake up your runs, keeping you on your toes. Have eyes at the back of your head to look out for the ambusher, and fleet-footed modifiers active from December 24th, Christmas Eve, until the end of the year. In the near-sighted and chain lightning modifiers active December 31st to January 7th. So this is actually going to be going on for like 2 weeks, it looks like. That's pretty cool. So Trial of the Hordes is coming back. Shields of Hearth is coming back. All right, new legendary items, set items, and Paragon specializations. Hey, whoa, hey! I didn't know this was in here. All right. These new legendary items can be found in Inferno 4 and higher. All right, so Shardbreaker. So I'm not going to read these right now because it's going to take a ton of time to do, but I wasn't actually anticipating getting new legendary items because I feel like we just got them, but that's very exciting. Although it does make sense with a new difficulty to get them, so I guess it does make sense. So that's cool. Very, very exciting. And I just went to the Tempest, so let's see at least what the Tempest has. Main hand. So when edge critical hits also shatter the enemy armor, increasing all critical hit damage they take by 18% for 2 seconds. Okay. Offhand, Zephyr Surge now causes you to tumble away from the target as you throw multiple blades at them and other nearby enemies. When a blade lands a critical hit, it will shatter in 2, striking the target again. Interesting. That one is very interesting, actually. So, all right, so the chest, Flowing Strike, now causes you to dash forward, damaging and stunning enemies in your path while also conjuring a Zephyr to attack nearby enemies. If Flowing Strike lands a critical hit, you will conjure an additional Zephyr, which usually it always does. Not always, but does. Flowing Strike also, this is the pants. Flowing Strike also grants you Way of the Water for 3 seconds, increasing the damage of your next skill cast by 30%. Okay, so it's really setting up your Flowing Strike into something else. All right, so Windwalk's cooldown is reduced by 0.15 seconds each time you deal a critical hit, but this cannot occur more often than 10 times every 9 seconds. I don't love that headpiece, actually. It doesn't feel all that great. Shoulders. So Windwalk now grants you Slicing Gale, making you invisible while also increasing your movement speed and critical hit chance. The bonus critical hit chance persists briefly after your invisibility ends. That's a good one. All right, so actually now I understand why the head is reducing the cooldown, because this is also increasing your critical hit chance. Okay, so yeah, a very, very bursty Tempest PvP build, no doubt about it. Well, now I'm curious about the Wizard. All right. So again, I have not read these yet. So main hand, electrocute critical hits also shock enemies, causing them to take damage every second for 3 seconds. Ice armor protects you with a miniature blizzard, reducing all damage you take while also chilling nearby enemies. Chest, Frostfield now generates an elemental aura around you, triggering additional elemental effects when you are attacking enemies. Teleport now blinks you to a target location, unleashing a vortex that damages and knocks enemies into the air. Scorch now emits a blast wave around you, damaging and burning nearby enemies. Teleport also increases the damage you deal with skills by 20% for 3 seconds. Interesting. So it's almost like another like farm build. Interesting. The electrocute one. All right, that's fine. Okay, so new set items. Interesting. So the Grip of Char, competitive Contempt's Wake. In Raven's Duty, set items can only be found in Inferno 4 or higher. Wait, what? Oh, these are all the names of... Okay, hold on. All right, Necro and Monk Essence is 2 OP. Oh, God, so now you want me to go back and read those? All right, I'll read those in a second. Well, I actually will read them now. So you said what? Monk and Necro? All right, Necro... Command Golem now enhances you with the Golem, encases you within the Golem, empowering you and making you immune to knockbacks while also increasing your movement speed and reducing all damage you take. Additionally, you gain several new abilities. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Skeletal Mage now summons a untargetable spectral mages that casts hungering soulfires at enemies after being struck by a total loss of control effect. A spectral mage can sacrifice itself to remove the effect. Additionally, spectral mages will be summoned passively while you're in combat. Damn. Okay. Chest piece. Bone armor now passively absorbs the souls of enemies you slay, generating a shield that absorbs damage and grows in strength with each kill. Additionally, bone armor can be activated instantly to grant you a shield at 50% of max power. Okay, Jesus. So it's a lot of passive power there. So pants. Bone armor also instantly heals you for 25% of the absorbed value of the shield. Wow. Okay, so I'm about survivability. Good lord. All right, so command skeletons now summons untargetable spectral warriors that can be ordered to rush to a target location and explode, dealing damage and fearing enemies. Additionally, the spectral warriors will sacrifice themselves, exploding on enemies that are feared. Okay. Shoulders. Skeleton mages siphon the power of their target for 2 seconds, increasing your critical hit chance by 2%, stacking up to 12. Jesus. Okay, so basically you jump into your golem as if it's like a Gundam, and your mages and your command skeletons are untargetable and do CC, and then your bone armor can now passively give you shield, but then also heal you. What? Okay. All right, so monk. 7-sided strike now rains 7 giant fists from the sky, damaging enemies that they crush. Exploding offhand, exploding palm now causes you to be untargetable as you continually teleport through enemies, striking them. That's really good. Holy cow. Chest. 7-sided strike also triggers exploding palm without consuming it, but then explosions deal 30% reduced damage and can only be triggered up to 3. Wait, what? So 7-sided strike will now also make this happen, but it doesn't actually use it. Okay, exploding palm can now stack when enemies are hit multiple times, each stack increasing explosion damage by 10% up to 30%. So you can basically use this to get back the 30% damage you're losing there. When exploding palm hits a petrified enemy, petrified? Okay, it triggers an explosion of stone. Okay, dealing additional damage to all nearby enemies. All right, shoulders. Imprisoned fist now damages all nearby enemies, petrifying them. And, okay, there you go. Causing a total loss of control. Wow. So it's basically a 3-skill, 2-skill, 3-skill thing. 7-strided, exploding palm, and imprisoned fist. That's actually kind of crazy. Damn, that's nuts. All right, so this is the new set pieces. So wildfire imperative. So 2-piece bonus. Your firestorms now become a wildfire, increasing its damage bonus from 50% to 85%. So 35% increase to damage. And if you're using a build that always uses firestorm, that's going to be a must pick up. That's actually crazy. Okay, so 4-piece bonus. Wildfire also conjures a wildfire tornado that drags nearby enemies to its center, dealing damage to all enemies within the area. Cannot occur more often than once every 6 seconds. Okay, so far the only real value is that 2-piece. I mean, this is okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is really good. That's a huge bonus to damage. 35% increase to damage is nuts. This it's not bad. Like, it's good. It's just not as crazy as the first one. All right, so 6-piece bonus. Wildfire also grants you fanning the flames for 12 seconds, causing your non-burn attacks to deal wind damage, allowing you to trigger wildfire. Okay. Fanning the flames also reduces the wildfire tornado's cooldown by 3 seconds. Oh, fanning the flames cannot occur more often than once every 40 seconds. That's a big cooldown, but it does allow this to happen every 3 seconds then, which isn't bad. So it lasts for 12 seconds, but it has a 40-second cooldown. So it's what, 28 seconds of not usability? That's really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, a new Paragon. All right, so a new Paragon specialization, Slayer. Proficiency, primary attack and ultimate damage is increased by 7%. Vigor, primary attacks against the same enemy deal increasing damage up to a maximum of 10%. Tempo, damaging enemies with your primary attacks increases your primary attack speed by 1% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 10%. Okay, up the tempo. Tempo's primary attack speed bonus is increased from 2 to 4%, stacking up to a maximum of 20%. Okay. Collateral damage. The damage of secondary effects triggered from a primary attack increased by 10%. Okay. Deterioration. Continual damage from your harmful effects is increased by 10%. Cripple. Your continual damage harmful effects also reduce the attack speed of afflicted enemies by 10%. Impair, cripples attack speed reduction is increased from 10 to 15. Okay. Rupture, enemies suffering from 3 of your continuous damage effects explode, dealing 32.5% base damage to all nearby enemies. Cannot occur more than once every 10 seconds. Contagion. When your continual damage effects, harmful effects expire, they have a 30% chance to spread. Oh my god, to up to 3 nearby enemies within 10 yards, but the damage they deal is reduced by 66%. Okay, that hurts a little bit. Amplified shield, so increasing the effectiveness of your shields and the shields that you grant to allies by 10%. Convergence, gaining a shield reduces the cooldown of all your non-damage skills by 0.5 seconds. Cannot occur more often than once every 10 seconds. Okay, understood. Gaining a shield also makes you immune to the next 2 knockback effects. Cannot occur more often than once every 10 seconds. Safeguard. When your shields expire, you take 60% reduced damage for 2 seconds. Cannot occur more often than once every 30 seconds. And then Hope. Gain a shield every 30 seconds that absorbs damage equal to 50% of your maximum life. Okay. Legendary skills. Okay, so Death's Release. So we're getting 3 new legendary skills. When your continual damage effects expire, they explode, dealing 30% of their total damage to all nearby enemies. Cannot occur more often than once every 10 seconds. That's already better. Like, that's already one. Like, I would use this almost exclusively compared to anything that we have now. Shock Barrier. Gaining an absorb shield causes you to unleash a burst of energy, dealing damage to all nearby enemies equal to 30% of their shield's absorbed value, up to a maximum of 40% of your base damage. Cannot occur more often than once every 10 seconds. Okay, I mean, this is good too. Okay. Overloaded, you periodically become overloaded, causing your next 5 primary attacks within 3 seconds to gain 60% increased primary attack speed. Overloaded cannot occur more often than once every 20 seconds from when the previous effect ended. Okay, so this is it lasts for 3 seconds, but then the 20-second cooldown starts at the end of the 3 seconds. So a little different there with the cooldown, but it's still good. So this is going to be like God tier for like Demon Hunters, obviously, Tempest potentially. I really like this one though, the continual damage. That's actually crazy good. Class and magic attribute balance changes. Good lord, there's so many notes in this. All right. Necromancer, bone armor, vortex of ice damage increase from 34.4 to 40%. Bone armor, the charges granted by bone armor now have an upper limit on the damage that they will block equal to 160% of your damage. Okay. This means that periodically heavy single hits will cause some damage. So it's only a balance to necromancers. Okay. Magic affix balance changes. All but the endure magic affix balance changes are effective everywhere in Diablo Immortal. The endure magic affix changes are effective only in PvP activities. Understood. Endure shields also grant you immunity for 2 hits of damage. Changed. Now absorb up to 50% of your damage per hit. Massive damage hits are consumed multiple charges. Endure again. Evading an attack has a 12%. Okay. Maybe I don't quite understand what they're doing here. Oh, I see. Okay, they're buffing some of them. Okay, understood. Feature updates. New progressive system, Seeker's Path. What is this? Seeker's Path is a new progressive system that will award you a Seeker rating whenever you upgrade your 8 primary slots, the Helliquary or Ancestral Tableau. As you gain rating, you'll passively earn combat rating. And once you reach certain milestones, you'll earn materials useful for further upgrading the Helliquary and your primary slots. Upgrading your primary slot equipment, Helliquary or Ancestral Tableau will no longer provide combat rating. Both the Helliquary and Ancestral Tableau menus can be found within the new Seeker's Path menu. There are some additional changes that have been made to the Ancestral Tableau because of Seeker's Path. The Ancestral Tableau is no longer part of the Warband activity and it is unlocked upon reaching level 20. Okay, you do not need to be in a warband to access it. Activity points, formerly called warband activity points, can now be earned by completing the Fence of Krygar, Purge of the Depths, activities, bounties, Elder Rifts, dungeons with friends, clans, or warbands. Activity points can still be earned from completing these activities solo, but are at a reduced rate. Every 300 activity points earned will automatically be converted to attributes and seeker rating. The weekly cap for activity points has been removed. The rate at which your activity points will be converted is based on your character's seeker rating and relation to your server seeker rating. All right, this change aims to help adventurers enhance their power more effectively. For those who are behind in progression, catching up on upgrading their equipment, Helliquary and Ancestral Tableau is extremely challenging, especially since participating in warband activities is required to advance your Ancestral Tableau. We have consolidated these three systems into the Seeker's Path and removed the restriction tying Ancestral Tableau to warbands. Okay. All right. So that is a lot, but that was really cool. All right. So now we have some interesting things. So familiars now have added utility at Nizza. The familiar vendor in Westmarch. You can send up to 4 bonded familiars to complete accursed tower purifications. Interesting. Shadow contracts in Ivanfod Sanctuary through the new familiar expedition feature. The more familiars you send, the quicker they'll complete the task. While your familiars are hard at work repelling Hell's forces, you can play as you normally would. They'll even continue their task if you exit Diablo Immortal. You receive rewards from completing these tasks as though you did it yourself. Okay, cool. Now only conversions will be used to upgrade your familiars. The melding option has been removed. I'm thinking back to that video I made saying don't meld. It was literally like in the thumbnail it said don't meld. Guess I was right. Conversions guarantee 1 normal familiar of equal or better quality. The new normal familiar created from the conversion is bound to the player and cannot be sold. Any newly summoned or purchased from newer normal familiars are not tradable. Interesting. Conversions have a small chance to create an additional aberrant familiar of equal or better. An additional? Okay. The evolution path and sale option for aberrant familiars remain unchanged. A new skill tier has been added for normal familiars, enhanced rare. Enhanced rare tier skills can be obtained from a conversion. Normal familiars can get enhanced rare skills and legendary traits. Normal familiars can unlock level 3 outlook now. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Max affix reroll. If you have already upgraded all 8 of your primary equipment to rank 30, you can now use the new enhanced feature at a blacksmith to reroll one of your magic affix on an item to replace it. Helliquary bosses, class specific and skill specific magic affixes cannot be rerolled. Interesting. Gem resonance. The gem resonance system now unlocks at rank 4, giving you flexibility in socketing the gems you want, but old predetermined resonant gems will still need to get the socketed bonus. Socketing resonance gems will now temporarily contribute gem power to the primary gem when it is ranked up in the progressive upgrade. If the same ranked up primary gem is unsocketed later, it will become dormant to prevent exploitation. Legendary gems. Gem power extraction and transfers can now be used on 1 and 2 star legendary gems. Extending this feature to all legendary gems will allow you to freely swap around the new gems and test different builds and loadouts. Normal gems. The number of normal gems acquired through the gem find party bonus can now be tracked while in a group of 4. Thank God. Dungeons. Deciding to skip the dungeon's introduction cutscene will now automatically skip the cutscene for that dungeon for the rest of the week. The Temple of Namare, Destruction's End, and the Mad King's playthrough experience has been improved. Interesting. Armory. A new armory has been added to the Battleground and Tower War. When used, only the effects of essence transfer are retained for these PvP activities. Gems and items cannot be replaced. Armories have also received 2 updates. You can now save an activated Paragon specialization without saving points. Okay. A new display mode that allows you to clearly view individual equipment and their names have been added. Oh, okay. So this is good for like sharing builds. I actually like that a lot. In Battleground, we've made a handful of changes to honor labels, most damage assists, and etc. Extra points will be awarded to the members of the losing side of the match who receive honor labels. Okay, that makes sense. Honor labels will be more evenly distributed going forward. Each team will receive their own honor labels. That's good. The points gained from honor labels will be displayed clearly in the post-match UI. I like that a lot. Helliquary, a new damage meter displayed. The top 4 damage dealers has been added. More information about each player's performance can be viewed once the Helliquary battle concludes. Hell yes, the downtime and transitions for the following Helliquary boss have been reduced by removing life locks and adjusting triggers for spawning throughout the fight. All right, awesome. Additionally, a spectator mode has been added to the Helliquary for downed allies to cheer on their comrades while they continue the fight. Okay, Prodigy's Path. 2 Prodigy's Path will now be available each quarter of the year. The first 2 under the new system will run from December 13th through January 27th and January 27th to March 30th. Free rewards will remain the same, but will be split across both Prodigy's Path. Premium rewards will also remain the same, but you can now earn twice the amount if you purchase both Prodigy's Path. I see what you're doing there, Blizzard. I see what you're doing. Hero's Journey Reset. Dust off your trusty weapon. Hero's Journey chapters 1 through 6 will reset December 13th. For the first 4 chapters, the new Hero's Journey will be available. Yeah. Challenge Rift Season 10. The next Challenge Rift on Season 10 will also begin on December 13th. Cool. It adds level 351 to 400, capping out at max combat rating of 47. Jesus. And lowers the difficulty from levels 331 to 350. New Hordic Bestiary entries. New collectible entries have been added to the Bestiary to illustrate the histories of these 2 bosses. Gather monstrous essence to unlock them. All right. Adventurers Chronicles. New entries to the Adventure Chronicles have been added. Look for them throughout Sanctuary with a particular concentration in the new zone, World's Crown. Wing Awaken? The Wing Awaken system now requires 6k resonance to unlock, down from 8k. The system has been reworked to the following: 6k, unlocking the Wing Awaken system, and 4 slots of gem resonance. Wow. Dang. 7k resonance unlocks 8 slots, 12 slots. Wow. So instead of 11k, you can just get 10k resonance to get the Transcendent Wings. Interesting. Upon reaching the maximum resonance, you'll gain the Swift Heavens bonus, which increases your movement speed in safe zones. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Earn additional inventory and stash space. Short on space for the coveted drop you just received. Activate the Blizzard Authenticator feature by logging into to receive the additional row of inventory and stash space while it is enabled. You'll not only have upgraded storage capacity, but increase the security of your account. That's random, but okay. What? That one leaves me scratching my head just a wee bit. But okay. Bug fixes. Looking for the hot fixes here. Note the Tempest male character will now be voiced in patch 3.2. Wow. This was a huge update. Literally epic. By far the biggest update that we've ever had in Diablo Immortal. Once again, if you want to see me covering it live, potentially for up to 24 hours, I will be doing a full-on subathon on Twitch, link in the description. And I will be playing this potentially nonstop for up to 24 hours. So if you want to see that, 9 a.m. Eastern time, be there, be square, Friday, when this drops, I will be there. Can't wait. It should be fun.